I'm going to introduce you now to Tessa. I know Tessa for a long time already. You work here also for a long time.
Yes.
She's responsible for everything regarding Toverland and newsletters and all kind of stuff. She knows everything. She doesn't bite, so after the presentation you can ask her everything. I don't know if you know what's a boy or a girl, what she's expecting. I don't know if she's going to say it, but congratulations, by the way, from everybody from the Coaster family.
Thank you very much. I hope this is a new Coaster fan.
Will be, probably. And I would say the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Okay, then. Thank you for the introduction, Jo. It's a pleasure to have you here today. I see a few familiar faces and I see a few new faces. A special welcome also to Robert Ulrich, who is all the way from America to be here at the launch event of your beautiful American Coaster Enthusiast Europe division. So how is your day so far? Good day? Yeah? Okay. Yes! I don't know what happened, but I was hoping to have the weather from last week, you know, 17 degrees, sunny. But unfortunately, I'm happy that Dwervelwind and also Phoenix are up and running, so you can do all the coasters today. So, thank you. But you have to save the applause for my colleague Jeroen. He's coming later to do the technical tour behind the scenes of Phoenix, and he is the one who made it happen that all the rides are open today. So, yeah, I think it was a very long process with test dummies and filling them up with water and emptying them again, and it took them a lot of work, but for us it's so important to open every ride every day for everyone who is visiting us. So I'm glad it worked out. So the program, I think you already know it, but for the rest of the day, first you have the presentation and of course a Q&A of me. Then I thought it was a surprise, but it's not a surprise anymore, the technical tour. Then, of course, free time in the park, and you end the day on our beautiful wooden roller coaster Troy, who is celebrating its 50th birthday this year with a very special event, which I talk about later. And then at 7, unfortunately, the end of the event, but the start of beautiful memories, I hope. So, in the presentation, I'm going to talk about the origins and the growth of Toverland, also about what the magic of true passion means for us, how we always try to give people a 9+ experience, and our special events. But first, an introduction. As you already said, we know each other for a very long time. I think you saw me grow up, at least in age, not in length, still little. I've worked here for 18 years now. I started in 2003 when I was 13 years old, I think, and that has everything to do with that Toverland is a family-owned company. It was founded by my mother and my uncle, and I will show a picture of them in the next sheet. So the first years when Toverland opened, I played a lot. Oh, I think somebody else is coming, which is fine. Hello, welcome. I think you also counted my baby as one. So, I started out just working in the holidays and in the weekends, first in the restaurants, later also in the shops, at the entrance. I also worked in entertainment. I am very big friends with Toos Toverhoed, if you know what I mean. Very beautiful character to play. And in 2007 I started a college degree, which I did 1 day a week, and 4 days a week I was working here in Toverland on the Marketing and Communications department, in which I could do a lot of experiences in the field. In 2010 I was ready with my school assignments, and I started out as entertainment manager, which meant that I was responsible for all the park entertainment, all the shows and all the events like the Halloween days and nights, which I will tell more about later as well. And then in 2017 one of my colleagues on the communications department went away, and then I thought, oh, I think communications and talking to the press, being the representative of Toverland is my true passion. So I solicited on that function, and I said, okay Tessa, you are allowed to do it. So that's what I've been doing for the last 5 years. be the representative of Toverland for the press, but also for other parties which have interests in Toverland, like the people who live across the town, because the bigger we grow, the more they complain, and then I try to fix it. Very important. And I also do the internal communications with all our personnel. We have 600 employees by now, so it's very important that they all know everything about what's going on in the park, so they can do their work for the best. So that's my story in short. The next big thing, of course, you can already see it. It's a baby. It's on its way, and it's a boy. So I'm very happy, but I'm also very curious how it's going to be after 18 years that I'm not here for 4 months. I think everything will be going on without me, but I think it will be hard for me to let it all go. But I get something beautiful in return for that. So, if anybody has questions during the presentations, just let me know, because I like answering them along the way. Yeah? Okay. So, Toverland, for the English-speaking people, it means magic land. So, magic land, to do magic is the main theme, and that's why I will start our fairy tale with once upon a time, there were a brother, Jean Gelissen, and a sister, Caroline Kortooms. And maybe, as you can see, she's my mother, so that means he's my uncle. It was 1996 when Jean had a dream. He already had a successful company in the construction area, but at some point he knew, I want to build a second company. And he knew it has to be something in the recreational atmosphere. A theme park, that's what he had in mind. A theme park with a roller coaster. So at one day he was with his family in this outdoor park with a swimming pool, a lot of attractions, a lot of things you could buy like ice cream, and it was a beautiful day. So the queue line for the ice cream cart was very long. But at some point it started raining, and it started raining long, it started raining hard, and what happened? All the people just packed their bags and they went home. And when all the people are gone, of course, you can't earn money anymore. So that's when he decided, okay, if I build a theme park, it has to be with a roof on top of it, so people can play and enjoy it in all weather conditions. So with that idea, he went to his sister, Caroline Kortooms, and he asked her, Caroline, do you like to build a theme park with me? I know it has to be with a roof on top of it, and there has to be a roller coaster inside. Well, Caroline, she was working in a ground school at the moment, and she also wanted to do something new. So she didn't have to think about it, and she said, yes, Shaw, we are going to do it together. Okay, so they want to build a theme park, but how do you do that? Well, the first thing they did was to explore the industry. So they visited a lot of theme parks abroad, in the Netherlands, and I was very lucky because I was allowed to go with them. Yeah. At the time I didn't know why we were visiting all these theme parks, because I was only like 6, 7 years old, but it was a lot of fun, I can tell you. What they also did was interview the target audience. Caroline, she was still working in this ground school, of this elementary school. So children in the age of 4 until 12, they were within her reach. And she asked all the children, what type of attractions would you like to see in a theme park? And I remember that we were all together in this big hall in the school, and we all just had to point out, okay, I would like this, the roller coaster, and my special favorite thing was a haunted house. Never happened till Halloween. But that's fine. She asked all the children, but she also asked all the parents, grandparents, uncles, nieces, you name it. And what parents said, what was very important, is that it had to be compact. There had to be a lot of seating area, so the parents can just sit and relax and watch their children play and have a relaxing day. The coffee has to be good for a good price, the toilets have to be clean, all these things she just picked them up together and they threw them in a brewing kettle and they made the concept of what is now the first indoor area of Toverland, the land van Toos. Then they went to search the right location. In the beginning they wanted to build Toverland in the south of Limburg. This is the province we are in with all of us. But there were no good possibilities. And then we ended up here in Sevenum, which was very great because we have a lot of room to expand. For example, momentarily we are 35 acres big and we already have purchased the grounds to become 100 acres. So that's a lot of room we still have to build on in the following decades, I would say. What's also very great is that it's near the highway, so people can enter Toverland very easily, and also from Germany and from Belgium. Momentarily, 25% of our visitors is from Germany, 10 to 15% is from Belgium, and the rest is from the Netherlands. And maybe a few French people, and I don't know if there are French people in the room, but we noticed that more and more French people find us, so that's very great. And then the last thing, last but not least, is that we needed the finance to build Toverland, to build this first indoor area. It was 19 million gulden. I don't know what's the English word for gulden, but it was the coin we had before the euros. And Jean, of course, had a lot of money from his first business, but they also needed money from the banks. But in the beginning, the banks were very skeptical. They thought, okay, what does a school teacher and somebody from the construction business know about building and operating a theme park? So they couldn't get the funding very easy, but in the end, they succeeded. And then Caroline, she asked the banks what made the difference for them. And the banks, they had 2 words, 2 answers for them. Does anybody know what helped them to get the financing? Does anybody want to guess? No? I just show it? Okay. So the first thing was the passion, because the first time they went to the banks, they had a lot of questions, a lot of critical things to say about the plans, but they kept improving their plans and they kept coming back to the banks. So the passion, the enthusiasm with which they presented their plans was very important, but also their perseverance. They didn't give up. They went on, and that's what helped them to get the 19 million gulden to finance Toverland. And with success, because in 2001 we opened the first indoor area, of course with the roof on top of it and the roller coaster Jean really wanted. Did you already ride it today? Yeah? Great. Yes, it was the boomerang at first. Maybe at first it didn't even have a name and we just called it roller coaster one. No. But it was boomerang very soon, and now it's called Toos Express, because Toos, of course, is our main character and she needs to have her own attraction in the park. In the summer of 2001, Toverland was already full one day. So then Jean and Caroline knew, okay, we have to expand. So they started their plans for the Wonderworld. In the beginning, also Magic Forest. What they did for the Magic Forest is that they wanted to have a bigger target audience. So for the first indoor area, it's children until the age of 12, plus their parents and grandparents. And for this area, we decided on bigger attractions, so we could also be fun for children of a older age. So up to 14 to 16, I would say. We opened Wonderworld in 2004. And as you can see, we also expanded a little to the outside. And then the next expansion, yeah, we just keep going and going. Jean, he really wanted a wooden roller coaster. And Caroline, she said, no roller coaster. We have to build the third indoor area and become the biggest indoor theme park of the world. Well, you see who has won. Sean won. Yes, but it was a very good decision to build Troy, the wooden roller coaster, because that's what put us on the international attraction map. You guys probably heard of us first when we opened Troy, right? Yeah, I see people nodding, so that's great. And then it took some time before we opened the big expansion. So in 2010 we also opened a few other attractions in the Troy area, the ship, Scorpios, and also these horses on which the smaller children can ride. So this area is also good for everybody and every target audience. So then we had to think about what we wanted to do next. So we hired someone, Pieter Cornelis. I think the people from the Netherlands will know who he is. We call him the theme park professor because he studied a lot of things in the theme park sector. And he interviewed our guests in a very special way. In this kind of way that he wanted to see what people needed when they have all the material things they desire. So a big house, this dream vacation, a fast car, stuff like that. Then people want to be happy, they want to feel loved, and they want to just enjoy themselves and be hopeful. So that are the values, the core values on which we built this area, the Magische Vlei, so the magical valley, if I translate it. So it was also a big success when it opened, and then we had to wait a few more years again before we opened the next big expansions. That was 2018. We built Port Laguna, the new entrance area. Why a new entrance area? We already had an entrance. Well, at first, the entrance we had previously, here, with the big towers, it became too small. Yeah, it just didn't fit anymore. But it also didn't fit our image anymore, because we started out as a theme park for smaller children, but we grew out to be a theme park for the whole family. So if you want to be a grown-up theme park, you also have to make sure you have a grown-up entrance. So that's why we built Port Laguna. And as you can see, it has branches to all the theme parks, to all the themed areas we have now, but we can also expand it on that side, because of course we have a lot of dreams for the future, and it's important to us that Port Laguna stays the heart of Toverland. And together with Port Laguna, we also built Avalon, the themed area in which you can find the wing coaster Phoenix, which I'm very happy it's opened, and which we will visit later on the technical tour. And after the tour, of course, you can ride it. So, because I think you haven't done that today yet. No. You will. I won't. So, that's not all, guys, because we are a family-owned company. We take a lot of risks, and we grow very fast. We want to grow very fast. And in 2020, I don't have to tell you that Corona hit the world. And then we became very creative, because we saw that a lot of people would like to go on holiday, but they are scared to go on holiday abroad. So we thought, okay, we already have a dream for years to build a Toverland hotel or other possibilities for people to stay overnight in Toverland. So we decided, why don't we build a pop-up camping on our parking lot, which we don't need because we have limited capacity because of Corona, and see if people would like to sleep over, to stay overnight in Toverland. So we did on this parking lot. So when you open your tent in the morning, the first thing you see is our beauty Troy, and it was a big success. It was such a big success that we opened the pop-up summer camp in 21 again, and this year it will also come in 2 weeks to be exact. From the 16th of April you can rent a tent again, or come with your own tent or caravan, and we have heating possibilities, so if it's this weather again, you won't freeze to death in your tent. Very important. And the most recent project we are working on, you probably saw that we are building on Expedition Zorg. Why give Expedition Zorg an upgrade? Well, because it was It's one of the attractions which is already in Toverland since 2004. And for us it's not only important to expand and to invest in new areas, but also remind of the old things we have. And yeah, to be honest, it was just one of the most ugly sides of Toverland, if I may say it in those words in English. So we decided, okay, we have to give it an upgrade, we have to give it a new, better storyline, and we have to improve the theming so it fits again in the image of Toverland we want to give it now. So that's what we are doing there. The next few dias are just a few impressions of how Toverland looks like. So this is Expedition Zorg before it's rethemed, but it will be even better when it's opened again. This of course is Phoenix, Port Laguna you see, Django River, which is also open today for the Daredevils. Maybe, it doesn't matter. You are here once a year, or maybe much often, but you have to do all the attractions, in my opinion. So, what we also have, of course, is entertainment. I already talked about Toos, my big friend. Moral, her pig friend. Yeah, a pig in English, yeah. So this is one of the tents you can rent if you would like to be staying on our campsite. This year we are also going to introduce our diving show again. It will also start on April 16th. Why that date? Because it's the day before Easter, so we expect a lot of guests by then. And then we will show the show daily until the end of the summer vacations, which is on September 4th. What we also do are special activities for the people who decide to sleep over. Especially on the days which Toverland is open until 6 o'clock. In the evening you have a lot of time before you want to go to sleep. So in the evening we have all kinds of entertainment like disco with Toos Toverhoed. We have games with Toos, but you can also book a tour to the top of Troy, which is of course very fun, because when you are up on 35 meters high, you can see in the broad environment, and it's very cool to do. So very popular under the people who stay with us. Then we also have our seasonal events, like Summer Feelings in the summer, the Halloween days and the Halloween nights in the October period. And this could have been a picture from today, but it's not, it's from the winter event. We do also events for companies or groups like the group you are today with, exclusive events like Oktoberfests, always fun. Yeah, last night we had our personnel fest in the beer garden. I think you can't see anything of it anymore, but it was a lot of fun. So a lot of possibilities in Toverland. So for the visitor numbers, it's also very interesting to see how that developed over the years. So we started in 2001 with 185,000 visitors, which is a very good number if you keep in mind that we opened on May 19th. And then in 2002 we had a growth, and in 2003 it dipped again. Why? Some of you might remember, but the weather is crazy the last years, but we had a heat wave. A big heat wave over the summer period, and when it's very warm, people just don't want to visit an indoor theme park, unfortunately. So, in 2004 we opened Magic Forest, nowadays Wonderworld, and you see the effects for 3 years. Troy, an effect again, and here, stabilization. Why stabilization? Because there was an economical crisis and people just didn't have enough money to do a lot of trips in the summer. So too bad, but explainable. And then it just stabilized until we opened a new big expansion, because this theme park professor I talked about earlier, he said if you build something new, you can profit from it for 3 years and then you stabilize again in your visitor numbers. So that's what you can also see with the Magical Valley, 3 years growth, then stabilization, Port Laguna and Avalon, growth. Okay, and we don't talk about that. Corona. 5 months closure in 2020, and in 2021 we had better visitor numbers. I'm not good at Photoshop, so it's written over there, but we had 717,500 visitors, which was already a 33% increase if you look at 2020. So we had a good year last year, but of course we hope that this year we can do the whole year without any limitations, and then we can go over the visitor numbers of 2019 again. But we are very faithful because we also had a very successful pre-season. So the investments, I already told you about the 19 million gulden for the first area. You can see here all the costs for all the big expansions we did. In total, 87 million euros we already invested in Toverland. And then I don't mention all the yearly investments we do, like all the maintenance for the roller coasters, which also is a few million euros per year. But that's why we need to ask the price we ask. But if you look at Disneyland Paris, 130 euros a day, I think Toverland is very well priced, right? So for the future, I'm sure you're all very interested in the future. So for the short term, we have the following ambition. That is to go to break through the barrier of 1 million visitors. And how are we planning to do that? Well, of course, to build and open new expansions, and also to open overnight stay facilities. So to keep all this growth possible, we are working on, oh sorry, did you have it? Yeah. We are working on a new zoning plan. It's a very long process. I'm sure you are aware of it of other theme parks who just did a process like this. For example, Efteling just had their new zoning plan approved, but it took them quite some time. What's important for our new zoning plan is that it lays down the frameworks that the future developments comply with. And we decided to make the zoning plan for a period of 20 years to come. But what is very important for us is that we don't know yet what we are going to do next or what we will open when. But in this zoning plan, we already talk about the ambitions. We already did the research for the overnight stay facilities, for new attractions which have a certain impact on the environment. And if we are ready to build something, because of this new zoning plan, we don't have to ask a lot of vergunningen, how is it called in English? Permits, thank you, because we already did the research in this big plan. So it's very ambitious, of course, if you do it for 20 years to come. What is very important for us is that the living environment is central in this plan, not only for us, but also for the people who live next to Toverland. So we are talking to the people that have interests in Toverland and ask them, okay, what is important for you? What would you like to see in our new zoning plan? We tell them what we are finding important for the zoning plan, and then we hope to make a plan which everybody can be proud on. So we started this more than a year ago, I think, but we are almost ready with it. So we expected it to be launched in the following months. And what is going to happen is that we are going to give the plan to Gemeente. Who?
Municipality.
Okay, what he said in the next few months. And then everybody can see the plans and they can make complaints about the plans, and then we will review the plans until it's approved. So it's going to take quite some time, but we started it and I am sure we will make it work. Okay, so I can't tell you anything more about the future. I'm sure you have a lot of questions about the future and you know about the rumors for the future, but we keep them as they are, rumors. So, any questions about the origins and the growth? Yo.
If you follow Toverland all these years, like you said, I saw you growing up over here. Every in a time window of 6-7 years, you're building a new roller coaster. It's always like that. You show us together again. So this means, you know, I'm really, my question is always, so could it be that we don't see a new roller coaster coming in the next 2 years in Toverland?
Well, if you say if a new roller coaster is built every 6 to 7 years,
Yeah.
so the last roller coaster we built was 2018, okay, then we still have some time. I know what we are going to build next, and the focus isn't on a roller coaster yet. But we are very ambitious, so maybe, I don't know. But my personal opinion is that we do have a lot of roller coasters for the size we are in. We have 5 roller coasters, all different types. And I personally think that we should focus on the wider target audience at the moment first. So that that everybody can do everything everywhere in all the themed areas. And I don't think that all the themed areas are complete yet.
So a good dark ride would be good.
I would love a good dark ride, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You just keep an eye out on us, and I'm sure we will talk about our future plans in the next period of time. Maybe even when I'm not here. So the last but not least thing is the special events we do in Toverland. We have recurring seasonal events. So for the summer season, we have Summer Feelings, which is during the summer vacation. Then in the October period, we have the Halloween days and the Halloween nights. And in 2022, so this year, we are also going to introduce a new winter concept. What we are going to do is not clear. Oh yeah, we know what we are going to do, but I can't talk about it yet. But the most big thing for us is that also in the winter season, we are going to open the whole theme park every day. Every opening day, I have to say. Because what we did in the past is that sometimes the whole park is open, well, during summer season, and then in the winter season we have days on which only the indoor areas are opened, and days during the winter vacation, the Christmas vacation, that we open the indoor areas plus the area with the wooden roller coaster Troy. And what we noticed is that it's very difficult to explain to our guests what is opened when. So now we decided, okay, when we open everything, or we are closed. So that's much easier. That fits more with the image we want to have now of a grown-up theme park. So this year, also in the winter, everything will be open. So today is a good test case to see how we can open the roller coasters as soon as possible. But we also have a lot of marketing events, which origin in the marketing department. So this year we are going to do our first festival. It's called Toverland Live. Why a festival in Toverland? Because we want to have a new target audience in Toverland for that. It's on the 21st of May, and a few Dutch stars are going to do their show on the main stage, and they are in Holland, well known I think, but I don't think the people abroad know who they are. So the first year we do the Dutch audience for the festival, but maybe in the future we will also have German artists, because I know my uncle is very big fan of Helene Fischer. Yes. So we also do events with YouTubers and influencers, because then you can, of course, have another target audience, like our youngest guest in the room, I think. And what we are also going to do this year is the Troy Coaster Challenge. I see you already smiling, because you, he organized the first one in 2010, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So why are we going to organize a coaster challenge? Well, we are going to organize Troy Back Days. Yes, it's a bit we played with the words there. And we do these Troy Back Days because we want to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Troy. What are we going to do with the Coaster Challenge? Well, a 24-hour marathon in Troy. I had a radio interview earlier this week, and the DJ asked me, how are you going to do that? do they all wear diapers during these 24 hours? No, they don't wear diapers, but of course every hour they get a 5-minute break to go to the toilet, to have something to drink, and every 6 hours there is a 30-minute break for a light meal, because we don't want to serve them Belgian fries because that's too heavy on the stomach. And Jolande can talk about it because she participated in 2016, right? Yeah, yeah. So.
Yeah, and I do like to have fries.
Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Okay, then we will make sure we have fries again this year.
The thing is really, how heavier the food, how much better it is than light food on the marathon, because it gives you some kind, I have to say it in the right way, a good balance inside the stomach, that you don't feel hungry, you don't feel anything. The greasier the stuff, the better.
Yeah. Okay, I will talk to the restaurants about that, because they will do the meal.
That's why we
There's an experienced person. I did it for the first time.
Yes, you did.
So in the middle of the night we eat chips just to have that.
To have that full feeling. Yeah, okay. We keep that in mind. We look for 12 contestants this year. So for Troy we have two trains. So one train is going to be operational for the regular guests, the other train for the Coaster Challenge with the 12 contestants, and beside the contestants we of course have available seats which we are going to sell for a good cause, which is this year Stichting Durf te Vragen, so Dare to Ask if I translate it to English, and that's a foundation that is for young people with mental health problems, and especially during the corona crisis a lot of people have mental health problems, so we think that's very important to help them, to raise more awareness and of course money for that foundation with this challenge. So in 2010 with the European Coaster with ACC we did the first edition, in 2016, which is this picture from, I can see Jolande on the picture.
No, I'm at the back, you cannot see me.
Did you do that on purpose?
No.
So how is everything going? Well, at the moment it is possible to sign yourself up for the challenge. I can tell you that we already have almost 2,500 people who signed themselves up. So that's a lot of people. So next week, after the 10th of April, I think it's on April 12th, we blocked the whole day with the whole marketing team to read all the people, all the motivations from all the people who applied, so we can make the best decisions, because we do a test evening on Friday the 13th. Not intentionally on the 13th, but it just happened that way. From 7 to 9 we already go ask them to ride Troy for 2 hours, so the first 48 people can see, okay, what does 2 hours of Troy do to my body? How do I feel? Do I want to go through with the complete challenge of 24 hours? So we will see how many people survive that first selection, and in the end we have to decide on the 12 final candidates. So we start the Coaster Challenge on the 1st of July, because that's actually the first of the birthday of Troy, with a dinner with the contestants and of course their helpers, and also an overnight stay at the pop-up summer camp for everybody who would like that. And then on Saturday 2 and Sunday the 3rd of July, the actual Coaster Challenge will take place, which unfortunately I think I won't be there, because my due date is on June 26th. So it's a very narrow window. Maybe I'm even giving birth on that date, I don't know. But it's very excited that we are going to do that again this year. So other people who already signed themselves up? Yeah, you did? Oh, that's great.
I don't think I will be chosen.
You don't think one time is enough?
No,
so,
yeah, I do want to do it again, but there are a lot of people that also want to do it.
Yeah, like I said, 2,500. But if you don't try, you never know, right?
Did you expect so many candidates?
Well, the last time in 2016, we had 800 people who subscribed, and I expected it to be over 1,000. but not as many as we have now. No, I didn't expect that. But I'm very happy. And yeah. So that about the Throw It Coaster Challenge. So that was everything I wanted to say to you. Thank you for your attention. And if you have any further questions, I'm happy to answer them. You already said I know everything about Toverland. Well, not everything, but a lot. And if I don't know it, maybe Jeroen knows it. So.
Maybe.